Hi guys, it's Frankie Silver from Cricket Talk. How y'all doing? Hi, today we're having an intimate episode. It's just gonna be me and you guys. Y'all talk to me a lot about talking about depression and getting some facts about it, stuff like that. And I decided to do a episode on it. I am a diagnosed bipolar manic depressive person since I was 16 years old. Depression is not something that I'm embarrassed to talk about or something that I feel like is something for people that are just have mental issues, because let me tell you something. Everyone goes through depression in their time in their life. Everyone. There's not one person that never went through a part of their life where they felt depressed. They didn't feel like getting off of bed. They didn't feel like, doing anything. They were in a bad mood. Like, it just depends what type of depression you in. You know what I mean? Because there's so many different type of depressions. And it doesn't matter what type of depression you're in. It's a depression. It's important. It's something that you need to talk about. It's something you need to release. It's something you need to, like, whatever makes you feel better, you do whatever makes you feel better. But what I have seen that helps me out a lot is counseling. Me going to therapy, me being on medication, me seeing a therapist, psychiatrist, and it has been very helpful. Like, anytime I need to talk about something, like, yeah, you got your friends and you got your family, and you got things that you could call and do, but you also need that outlet that you could just talk to a person, and it's something about that person just being there for you and there to listen to you, and no judgments, just like an open field of you just being able to tell him what you feel, what you're going through. And, like, sometimes you'd be like, am I crazy for feeling these things, and come to find out you're not crazy. You're just thinking about things that are just common. A lot of people go through that when they're depressed or when they're going through whatever is it that you feel like you're going through. There's different depressions. There's depressions about losing people. There's depression about being dumb. There's depression about losing kids. There's a lot of different depressions. There's depressions about your body. You can be depressed about a lot of different things, and sometimes people don't even know that they suffering of depression. You know what I'm saying? So just know that there's a lot of outlets that you can look into. Now you can see a therapist on a phone. You don't have to even go into an office. Like, it's the easiest thing to do, guys. I just want y'all to know that there's a lot of different outlets. Like, suicide is such a high rate that people don't know that it's a real serious thing. Like, and more on teenagers and children now. So it's just like, let's look out for our youth. Let's see the red flags when we see them, because that's something else. You could, like, get smart on it and know, like, when you see a child, if that child is depressed or something, instead of being like, oh, snap out of it, la, la, la. Like, some kids just can't snap out of it. Some things is just too strong for them. They need another outlet. They need another anchor. And just because a therapist is seen as a quack doctor does not mean that they quack. I've been with my therapist for years. I mean, since I was like 20 something, and I'm gonna be 40. And she's fantastic. I love going to her. I love speaking to her. She listens to my craziness and, tells me things and calms me down sometimes and tells me that I'm just a normal person, like, just going through sometimes a hard time. Like, there's no such thing as you being happy all the time. And if you are, there's something wrong with you. Okay, you can't be happy 24 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? 7 days a week, 365 days a year. There's some time where you have to be depressed and you're sad or whatever the freak it is that you're feeling. There's some days that you're feeling, and it's just good to have different ways to cope with it. There's numbers you could call, there's freaking websites you could check, there's alleys you could look into. Like, there's different things, and I want y'all to know that there's nothing wrong with looking for the help. Because, as Hispanic people, we're told, like, tú no necesitas un terapista para qué. Mira, háblale a tu mamá, háblale a tu papá, háblale a tu hermana, like, no, that there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. If anything, it makes you feel better, and at one point, you're gonna just be like, "Oh my God, I just feel so much better about myself. I'm relieved," So also I wanted to talk about um so I have heard that a lot of people have been asking about the fact that I've been putting on nails and wearing color wigs and stuff like that. This is not something new, okay? If you go back and look at my pictures, I used to dress like a full female back in the days, okay? Like for years, okay? Years. This is not something that just started. This is not something that I decided to just be like, oh, let me throw on a wig and some nails. Bitch, no, okay? Look at my post and at my past Facebooks. It will teach you something. This way people could just stop talking so much shit because now they're like, oh, you into the nails, you into the wig since when? Bitch, what? I've been doing this, okay? I've been doing this since way before any of these bitches was doing hair, okay? I teach these bitches out here what the fuck was extensions. Stop it, okay? Anyway, guys, I want to leave this in a great note, the way it started. Like I said, remember, there are numbers you could call. There are therapists you can see. There are plenty of different alleys that you can go of looking at different information. You could go on the internet. You could go on anything and find doctors if you need the help. Depression is not something to be embarrassed of. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of, and at least you went through an experience and you came out stronger on the other side. That's the point of therapy, okay, guys? So I just want to make sure to tell y'all to have a great afternoon or evening, because it's already evening, yes. And hopefully I will see y'all again, okay, guys, with more hot topics. This one was just an intimate episode, so remember, guys, there'll be a couple of more intimate episodes where I'll be also talking about just growing up as a child in the Bronx and being gay, and back dealing with it in the 90s where I was growing up, how things were. That will be my next personal episode that I'll be doing, and just talking about the experiences I went through as a child growing up, and things that happened to me. So if you want to be in tune with that, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Okay, Cricket talk show, and please, like I said, subscribe and share and keep on doing what Chap Beautiful people do, and remember that you are the most important thing in this world, okay? If you don't love yourself, you cannot love no one else. So, mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, guys.